Canada's real estate market is reaching a breaking point. And in today's video, we're going to be looking at the 20 Canadian neighborhoods most at risk for a massive wave of power of sale listings. Let's get in it. From the GTA to Vancouver suburbs, high interest rates and mortgage renewals are creating the perfect storm for a distressed property owner and the perfect opportunity for investors. So, we will look at the 20 Canadian neighborhoods at most risk for power of sale listings. We're going to talk about what exactly is a power of sale. And we're going to talk about how you can use these market shifts to your advantage. So, first, what is a power of sale? So, when you see a for sale sign on the lawn of a home, for years that meant a bidding war and massive profits for the seller. But right now, those signs are starting to represent something far more sinister. We're looking at a wave of forced liquidations that hasn't been seen since the 2008 financial crisis. Thousands of homeowners who bought at the peak are now hitting a wall of high interest rates and falling home value. Because mortgage renewal rates are 3 and 4% higher than they were just 5 years ago, the buffer's gone for many people. So people don't have a choice but to give up the home because now they owe more than what the home is worth. It's just take the loss. They don't have a choice. So let's get into the top 20 areas in Canada that are most at risk for this wave of power of sale listings. I'm going to break this down into 4 subsections: the Ontario market, the BC markets, the Quebec and Atlantic markets, and the secondary markets and the growing centers here in the GTA or Ontario. So let's talk about Ontario. The number one place in Ontario for potentially skyrocketing power sales is downtown Toronto. One of Canada's most expensive condo areas and townhouse hubs and single detached homes. We are now feeling the impact of rising rates and household debts at unprecedented levels. The second area is North York, Ontario. North York is a great suburb of Toronto and it's dense with condo owners, but many are facing tough mortgage renewals, and as a result, they too are at risk. Scarborough, Ontario, great suburb of Ontario, full of single family homes, but in here they're under pressure as affordability weakens in this market. The fourth Ontario area is Mississauga, Ontario. High debt levels, rising carrying costs are pushing these homeowners to list their homes and sell. And last but not least, this area has been talked about so often and so much is Brampton, Ontario. The rapid growth in the last few years now coincides with financial stress. So let's get into the BC markets. Victoria, BC hits the top of the list. We also have Vancouver West End because guess what? Condos are under pressure just the same way they are here in Toronto. And rate hikes and very high carrying costs are just the tip of the iceberg for what people can take. On the other end, we got Vancouver East Side, where older homes and rental cash flows both struggle, hence their risk. Burnaby, BC, mixed sees rising investor stress in that area. The last area in BC is Richmond, BC. Now, this is close to Vancouver, but new financial strain is surfacing in this area. In each of these cases, rising mortgage costs, slow resale values, higher debt loads, all equal to disaster in every area. But in these specific areas, it's even worse. Let's get into Quebec. Quebec, prairies in the Atlantic. So Plateau Royal, Montreal, Quebec. That's an urban vibe, but they've got high taxes and they've got an aging inventory, and both of those pressures converge. Laval, Quebec. It's a suburb of Quebec, and there's again softening rental demand, rising costs. perfect storm. Longueuil, closely tied to Montreal's market shifts, and they too are very vulnerable. Calgary's Beltline, so Calgary, Alberta, is the urban core. This area specifically has been hit because we had really big run up of prices in Calgary, and now we are definitely seeing a softening in this area. Edmonton is also similar to Calgary, big run up on prices, but a lot of older homes and a lot of cash flow challenges for investors in this area. The last subsection is the secondary markets here in Ontario and Canada. Ottawa is a high leveraged market in the peak, and now there's slow appreciation. So some investors are carrying more of a mortgage than the house is worth in these areas. Halifax, Nova Scotia, again, rising costs, softer rents don't equal a good scenario. Number 18 is Winnipeg, Manitoba. And again, tough area because we've had this big run up of pricing in Winnipeg, and now we're definitely getting softening. We have Burlington, Ontario, that's had a tough time, real big run up of prices in that area, and definitely a softening. And Oakville, Ontario, high carrying costs, high property taxes, lots of debt loads in Oakville. And I'm going to give you one more bonus. That was number 20. Oakville was number 20, but I'm going to give you one more bonus. It's London, Ontario. London, Ontario is the midway point between Windsor and Toronto, and it is at a massive run up of prices, and it is seeing sometimes 50% deltas on where they were in just 2021, 2022 to where they are now. Now, we are in a renewal cliff. They say this, we've heard this, there's about $900 billion of Canadian mortgages that are coming up for renewal. And when you combine that with the cooling job market, the math simply stops working. So in the 20 areas, the average monthly payment increase is sometimes projected to be higher by $1,500 to $2,800 a month. And for the average family, that's just not a tight month. That's a total collapse and a loss of a home. So what are the opportunities here? Okay. If you're an investor, is a field day. You have a gold mine, but I'm going to caution you. You got to be careful. Power sale properties come with a sold as is type of scenario. So you don't have the same sort of protections and standards that you would have when you buy a home that is not power sale. So be careful. Be careful, but we have not seen prices like this in well over a decade. And quite frankly, once we get out of this hole, I definitely think we are going to be looking back and saying to ourselves, damn, I should have bought those properties when I had the time to. Okay, that's it for me. If you like this breakdown, hit the like and subscribe button and ring that bell. And remember, whatever your goals are, let's get in it.